Hey YouTube, in the Ford Hive Mind, I need some help on this one. Got a 1936 1.5 ton dump truck. It's been running pretty good over the years. I've had it for about 6 years now. I had some sputtering problems maybe 3 years ago. Ended up chasing it down to be a vapor lock issue. So I kind of got that squared away. I did rubber fuel line up to the pump as opposed to the copper that was here. I did a supplemental inline fuel pump down on the frame rail to help force feed it. Other than that, also increased my cooling with a 5-blade plastic fan instead of the 4-blade that was in here. Speaking of fans and the 4-blade, I believe this is a car engine. It's a 21 stud engine with the water pumps not mounted in the heads. I believe the combination of those two things designates this as a 37 engine, and the fact that it had a 4-blade fan on it, I'm wondering if somebody got a 37 car engine at some point over the last 85 years or so and swapped it in here. But regardless, this is the engine that's in here now, and it's the one I'm going to be working on. So a little bit more history on it. I had a condition where if the engine got wet, it would quit for 2 days. So likely something with the ignition system. To test this theory, I decided that I was going to get a spray bottle of water and come out at nighttime, kind of start up here at the high side and just start wetting parts of the ignition system down to the distributor to see if I could see any visible arcing or to see where the problem would crop up. I did both sides without much issue. Got down to the top of the distributor, and when wetting in or around the condenser, which is mounted to the top of this like Bakelite plate, that's a 12-volt conversion kit for this type of distributor. When I wet that kind of area, it would fault out. So if I focused drying efforts on that area, it would be fine. A couple minutes later, it would come back. So I kind of knew that like my area of concern was water at the top of this distributor. Obviously, water and electricity aren't best friends, but it's kind of unfortunate that directly down here, you know, on the front of the motor where you might get rain through it, or directly under the hinge of the hood, can kind of focus on this area. So I decided to start going down a path and maybe upgrading some of these components and or getting new ones. The problem was this kit that I had right over here. This kit that I had, no make, no model or anything like that on there, had a condenser that was completely unidentifiable. So instead of trying to chase down the components from this old kit, I decided to just order a new 12-volt conversion kit. Came with all the components, and that way I could kind of start fresh. So I put them in there. Truck ran fine for like a week. I took it to I actually worked this truck a little bit. I took it to a gravel yard to get a load of stone. Was backing up to the pile. I'll be honest, I don't remember if I stalled the truck or not, but in any case, it ended up quitting when it was warm, and I couldn't get it going again. So pulled out the meter, still kind of suspect in my ignition system, found out that the condenser was shorted to ground. So I pulled that off. Fortunately, I actually had my customer coming from down the street with the old components from my garage. I literally put these old components back in, got it fired up at the gravel yard, finished my job, got home, got all that. So that was last fall. My plan for this year was to kind of start one-piecing components in here to see if the problem would crop up again. Unfortunately, though, I took her out yesterday for like one of the first bath of the year, and with that increased confidence that I knew if I got anything wet to basically clean the top of the distributor off, I cleaned the engine pretty good, and unfortunately it died. I bricked it. It wouldn't run at all. I had no spark. I took the distributor apart, cleaned it out, sprayed some alcohol in there, got that blown out. Still, it didn't do it. So the weird part was I wasn't getting any spark, or should I say, I was getting spark at the coil. I did like the ghetto coil test where you just intermittently short the ground to ground and then check the output. I had spark with both the new and old coils, and I said, at that point I'm probably maybe have a short in the wires. Now these look really good because I replaced them yesterday. I also had got them from when I ordered the kit. Previous to that, you can see the kind of condition we got over here. Got some like electrical tape there, maybe a mouse chewed through that. That is previous owner electrical tape, and the old screw-on style here. So this is what the other side looked like, and I swapped the wires, and I also said that, you know what, we're going to go with a different mentality, and it's not the one piece together. That is, let's do some preventative maintenance work and just swap out the parts that should be good. This is, again, a new kit. I think it was Vintage Auto Electric or so. I had reached out to them with my problem with getting stuck at the gravel yard there with the bad condenser. They sent me a whole new top end. You know, it's like a whole, sent me a whole new one of these with a new condenser, and I still got other wires to put in. So long story short, here's where I'm at. I have an intermittent I have an ignition problem, I believe. Nope, I screwed that up. Sorry, this is a one-take video. I'm not going back over the 6 minutes to try to re-explain that. I put these components in, got it running. I wanted to get it out in the carport here so it wouldn't get rained on anymore. Decided I was going to take it for a ride around the block. Got about 6 minutes away, started sputtering, barely made it back to the house. Came back, coil was a little warm, truck died in the driveway. I ended up just letting it cool down. I got it fired up and got it out here into the carport. Now, so this is a cold start here. We got, you know, key on. Make sure she's in neutral. Here we go. Choke wasn't on. In my opinion, that starts pretty good. I didn't have to crank on it for a while. It's running all right. I got a little bit, I don't know if it's a misfire or not, or if it's just because it's not warmed up. Let me bring down the... So, we'll shut that off. I think there's a tiny bit of a miss in there. I just dropped the spark tester on the ground. I'm going to start doing some, you know, this is ground up troubleshooting, but I wanted to get this first leg of the video out there to try to, there's a lot of stuff to cover. So I'm going to do a cold spark test on all these and verify that the spark is halfway decent when I replace the wires on the other side. The reason I didn't do them all is I realized that I'm missing the boot that goes between the loom and the cover, and if I'm going to go through the effort of chasing those wires through there, I want to do it with the boot on it. So I ordered new distributor caps and the outer cover as well as the boots. Those will be here in a day or so, at which point I will verify all of the plug wires are routed into the correct spots. I did also verify that this is, being it's a 12-volt system, I'm getting about 10 volts when the truck's running here. It is run through a ballast resistor. Like I said, I'm going to do the spark test, both hot and cold. I am going to keep an eye on the condenser. That's just suspect to me. Every time I've had some problems, it's like condenser problems. So, by all means, let me know what you think. I'm going to kind of keep troubleshooting away at this, develop tests, and start to eliminate some things as we go. As I did say, I didn't have a problem with the last coil, so I may put that coil back in here. You know, I'd like to assume that new parts are good, but that's not always necessarily the case. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to take my wife out to dinner here in the next couple weeks, and I would rather not be stuck on the side of the road. That would not make date night very nice. So any information is greatly appreciated, and with any luck, we'll get this girl back on the road. Thanks.